The Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, is an American media franchise and shared universe centered on a series of superhero films produced by Marvel Studios. The films are based on characters that appear in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Marvel Studios releases its films in groups called phases, with the first 3 phases collectively known as the Infinity Saga, and the following 3 phases as the Multiverse Saga. Total grossing of Marvel Cinematic Universe, $12.80 billion in US and Canada, $19.11 billion in other territories, $31.91 billion in worldwide. Total budget of MCU is $7.524 billion. 1. Iron Man, 2008. Iron Man is a 2008 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. In the film, following his escape from captivity by a terrorist group, world-famous industrialist and master engineer Stark builds a mechanized suit of armor and becomes the superhero Iron Man. Iron Man premiered in Sydney on April 14, 2008 and was released in the United States on May 2, as the first film in Phase 1 of the MCU. It grossed over $585 million, becoming the 8th highest-grossing film of 2008 and received praise from critics, especially for Downey's performance as well as Favreau's direction, the visual effects, action sequences and writing. It received 2 nominations at the 81st Academy Awards for Best Sound Editing and Best Visual Effects. In 2022, the Library of Congress selected the film for preservation in the United States National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. 2 sequels have been released: Iron Man 2, 2010, and Iron Man 3, 2013. 2. The Incredible Hulk, 2008. The Incredible Hulk is a 2008 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character the Hulk. It is the second film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. It was directed by Louis Leterrier from a screenplay by Zach Penn. In the film, Banner becomes the monstrous Hulk as an unwitting pawn in a military scheme to reinvigorate the super soldier program through gamma radiation. He goes on the run from the military while attempting to cure himself of the Hulk. It received praise for its action sequences and was considered an improvement over the 2003 film, but it was criticized as lacking in depth. The film grossed $265.6 million worldwide. The film takes place simultaneously with the events of Iron Man 2 and Thor, the former of which is set 6 months after the events of Iron Man. 3. Iron Man 2, 2010. It is a 2010 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Iron Man. It is the sequel to Iron Man, 2008, and the third film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, directed by Jon Favreau and written by Justin Theroux, after the events of Iron Man where Tony Stark reveals himself to be Iron Man. The US government demands he hand over his technology. Meanwhile, a rival industrialist and a Russian scientist Ivan Vanko, Rourke, conspire to use his own technology against him. Iron Man 2 premiered at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, Los Angeles on April 26, 2010 and was released in the United States on May 7 as part of Phase 1 of the MCU. It received praise for its action sequences and performances, but critics deemed it inferior to the first film. The sequel grossed over $623.9 million at the worldwide box office, making it the 7th highest-grossing film of 2010. It received an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects. A sequel, Iron Man 3, was released on May 3, 2013. 4. Thor. It is a 2011 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. It is the 4th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. It was directed by Kenneth Branagh, written by the writing team of Ashley Edward Miller and Zach Stentz along with Don Payne. After reigniting a dormant war, Thor is banished from Asgard to Earth, stripped of his powers and his hammer Mjolnir. As his brother Loki, Hiddleston, plots to take the Asgardian throne, Thor must prove himself worthy. Thor premiered in Sydney on April 17, 2011 and was released in the United States on May 6 as part of Phase 1 of the MCU. It received generally positive reviews from critics and was a financial success, earning $449.3 million worldwide. 3 sequels have been released: Thor: The Dark World, 2013, Thor: Ragnarok, 2017, and Thor: Love and Thunder, 2022. 5. Captain America, The First Avenger. It is a 2011 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Captain America. It is the 5th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. The film was directed by Joe Johnston, written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. In 1943, Steve Rogers is deemed physically unfit to enlist in the U.S. Army and fight the German Reich in World War II. Recruited for a secret military operation, he is physically transformed into a supersoldier dubbed Captain America and must battle the Red Skull, head of a Nazi science division known as Hydra. It was premiered at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles on July 19, 2011 and was released in the United States on July 22 as part of Phase 1 of the MCU. The film was commercially successful, grossing over $370 million worldwide and received positive reviews from critics, who praised Evans' performance, the film's depiction of its 1940s time period and Johnston's direction. 2 sequels have been released, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, 2014, and Captain America, Civil War, 2016. 6. The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers, titled Marvel Avengers Assemble in the United Kingdom and Ireland and commonly referred to as simply The Avengers, is a 2012 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team of the same name. It is the 6th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, written and directed by Joss Whedon. Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., gathers the superheroes Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, the Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye to fight Thor's brother Loki, who plots to subjugate the Earth. It was premiered at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles on April 11, 2012 and was released in the United States on May 4 as the final film in Phase 1 of the MCU. The film received praise for Whedon's direction and screenplay, visual effects, action sequences, acting and musical score. It grossed over $1.5 billion worldwide, setting numerous box office records and becoming the 3rd highest grossing film of all time at the time of its release and the highest grossing film of 2012. It was the first Marvel production to generate $1 billion in ticket sales. In 2017, The Avengers was featured as one of the 100 greatest films of all time in an Empire magazine poll. It received a nomination for Best Visual Effects at the 85th Academy Awards among numerous other accolades. 3 sequels have been released: Avengers, Age of Ultron, 2015, Avengers, Infinity War, 2018, and Avengers, Endgame, 2019.